Hey everybody, and welcome to Discovering Purpose Part 1. Well, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about purpose. What is purpose? Passion. What is this famous topic that we've been hearing so much about? And I just want to share what my experience are with discovering, what my purpose is in life and just what I'm most passionate about. And just, sharing that knowledge with you to help just kind of steer that direction of how do I discover these things, like just giving like practical application to figuring that out. And I wanted to start off with just sharing my experiences with it for you guys. And let's start off, like, what is purpose? What is it? I feel like it's that topic that, again, we've been hearing so much about, but it's like finding those things that you're most passionate about that bring that true fulfillment. And it's reflecting in life. It's seeking mentors, seeking advice from others, and then kind of walking in that, creating that pathway for yourself to just walk within those things that you feel that you're being called to do. And it's something that is going to always develop. It's always going to grow. But it's like that discovery point. Like that is the first entry of this idea of purpose and passion. And so it starts off with those interests, and that turns into passion. And then that is like that driving force for you to, just be walking in it. And, for me, I feel like probably like most, or just a lot of people, for me, it was pursuing medicine. I wanted to be a surgeon, inspired by, a hit TV series from back in the day. And literally that was my reasoning for what I wanted to do in life. And that just kind of stayed with me, throughout high school, entering college. I was a biology major, again, pursuing medicine, and chemistry kicked my butt. Like, I feel like a lot of college students, just going in to college and like wanting to pursue, medicine or these ideas, it may have been something that our family, put on us, or just whatever those reasons were for doing that. And, it's like math and sciences were not my strongest areas, but for me, it's like I'm sticking this out. Like I'm gonna do this. Like I'm not letting these weed out classes affect me. Like I'm gonna push through. Just keep doing it, and it became like just a continuous cycle for me of just it's like when really reflecting and sitting down. Is this something that you really want to do? Are you really putting the work that you should be in it? And the response was always no. It was always no. I went through a series of being on academic probation, from just not getting the best grade in these courses and my GPA dropping. So just all these shifts, went through a lot of major changes. So changing my major, probably 3 to 4 times. And I ended up with something completely different from what I started with. And that was African American studies. It's like at the time, I didn't see that there was a deeper purpose behind that. But, I was like, I enjoy, learning about Black culture. And you know what? Like, let's do it. It's something that I need to graduate. Like, let's do it. Why not? And I'll never forget, I had so many people, when they kind of see, what's your degree and what are you majoring? And I tell them, and it'd always be like, good luck, trying to find a job with that profession and with that major and everything. And, but God definitely had another say with that, and after I graduated, from college, I took gap years. I knew that I wanted to continue on with my education, but I didn't know in what. It was a long, very, very long series of just trying to figure it out and not even knowing where to begin with that. It's like, what were those next steps? And for me, it was, okay, I got these 2 things I got to worry about. I have bills to pay and I need to survive, so let me get myself in a full-time job. Let me get a full-time job so that I can at least take care of like these necessities. And that's kind of what the beginning part of my gap years were after college. It was being in a job that, again, it provided the financial necessities that I needed to take care of day-to-day routine, but it's like I wasn't seeking passion. I wasn't seeking purpose at all. And again, it's like you knew that those weren't that wasn't your end goal. That is not where you wanted to be, but it's like it's what you felt you needed to do in that season, in that time. And I thank God so much for it. I had just mentors in my life. Like, I cannot stress that enough, just the importance of having those mentors around you. And they could be different. You could be spiritual mentors. There could be academic mentors, social mentors, like professional mentors. Like, just building that network is so, so important. And I had a trusted faculty that I could speak with and just went to her seeking guidance and tools on all these things. And internships. She stressed just building that experience. If you want to identify what you're passionate about and what you enjoy doing, you have to put yourself in that environment. And so it means of working, interning, not volunteering because it's a different experience, but actually doing work in a role to really be in that environment and doing the work and seeing, is this something that I can see myself doing, or is this something that I enjoy? And, that was such the greatest advice for me, her instilling that knowledge. And it took a lot of reflecting too, a lot of reflecting on, okay, you know what, like really, really sitting down. What are things that like I love, like taking it back to the roots, like what are things that I'm really, really, really passionate about? And for me, it was Black issues, being in college and my experiences that I've had, and even my major that I had my degree in, it was so eye-opening, and I loved it. I love Black issues. I love learning about Black culture and just the issues that affect this community. And I loved community service. Like, that's something that I've always, since I was much younger, adored. It's just, helping others and just the service aspect. And I just reflecting on those things, I said, you know what, like, I'm going to take it back to what I know, taking it back to service opportunities. And I started interning with Relay for Life and the Boys and Girls Club. And, those were incredible experiences of just like those reminders of helping others, doing for others. And also, I got an internship working as with the commissioner's office in the city that I was located in. And that was probably like just the greatest blessing. To give you a little story about it, we had an elderly resident. She came in and was just expressing to the commissioner's aide about just how her utility bills were being raised. And she said that, I live on this east side of town. And seeing these large bills, I make sure that my usage is not really high, and so my bill shouldn't be reflected is what I'm seeing. And she stressed, on the west side of town where there's a lot more college students, seeing a large bill like that, the college students were like, we'll pay it. It is what it is. We'll get it taken care of. But on the east side, where low-income residents live, seeing a bill like that, it's like, oh no, I did not. This is not reflecting my usage, And so she just kept stressing that to us of, I need the local leaders to look into these things. I need the local leaders to just like look into discovery. Like, you guys are obligated. This is your role to see what's going on with this and help your residents in your community. And that's a story in itself. But indeed, like, I just remember being in that space, and it just being that aha moment for me of, oh my gosh, like, this is it. This is it. Like, it was that confirmation that I needed of just finding, that thing that brings fulfillment and seeing what my role would be in servicing and helping others, and that helped me so much. During that season, I also went through a transitional phase and, a very low point. And it was incredible because I was able to develop a relationship with God. And to me, that is something that is so important. And again, going back to those mentors, I had a spiritual mentor that was just always constantly speaking life over me, just being that encouragement that I needed, and so just also in that discovery phase of just having that confirmation around me, my spiritual mentor, he always always speak life over me, and he'd always share these things that I've got to share with you guys. He told me twice a day, in the morning, after you wake up, and at night before you go to bed, you want to pray and ask God these 5 things. And he said, asking God for godly knowledge, godly wisdom, godly instruction, godly direction, and all for his godly results. So those 5 things he stressed twice a day. And he said that God is obligated to get involved because he's our Father, and he'll give that clarity from what you're looking for with like your purpose. Like, like, God, am I being called to do this? Like, what does this look like? And I will say I did that for about 2 weeks. A week went by, and I was like, I'm not hearing anything. I'm not seeing anything. Can I get some clarity in this? And I want to say within the second week, it's like things just started happening. Like that clarity was just opening up. It was things were just occurring, and just kept, like, things just started just moving, and I was getting that clarity and getting that confirmation. And that was when I started interning with the commissioner's office and interning at the other service organization. And so it's like God was moving in all of that, and didn't even realize it. But it was like that confirmation that I needed. And I was just in developing my relationship with God, just seeking him daily. And so for me, that looked like just daily, just in the word daily, like reading the word and praying and talking and just like venting, expressing how I'm feeling, expressing my struggles, and just needing clarity and confirmation in things. And again, y'all, like, when I tell you God was just moving in all of those things. And I started looking up graduate programs. I said, you know what, like, I feel like I know what that is. And I started looking up graduate programs, and I saw MPA, and just reading over it, I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is it. Like, that continued confirmation, this sounds like me, like, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to spend my life towards. But I had a lot of just, just like, a lot of air traffic, like people, speaking things when I would share it, with family and with friends, and different things, mostly family. And I just got a lot of, a lot of wrong advice, and a lot of wrong input of, be smart. At the time I was looking at nonprofit, doing work with nonprofit, and a lot of just bad advice I was getting was, be smart about this. You don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. You just got your bachelor's, you have your college degree. Like, really, really be smart about this, because I don't think that's right. And listening to just a lot of that wrong advice, I started questioning it, just doubting, like, man, I don't want to be struggling. Is that smart? I just finished this 4-year program. I have a degree now, and it's like the idea of struggle and being straight out of school. It's like, would I be setting myself up for failure? And I will never forget that same spiritual mentor, sharing these things with him, because I then start looking at other graduate programs, MBA. So I had this long battle of, oh my goodness, should I get my MBA or should I get my MPA? And then looking at MPA, it's like, oh, listening to this advice, I don't want to be struggling, like, and for a long time, I just felt so torn between the two, listening to that wrong advice. And I'm so grateful for my spiritual mentor, because they just expressed, Keandra, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all those things will be added to you. So it was just that expression of not following money, not chasing the money, but chasing where God is leading you, chasing you in that purpose and that calling that he has for your life, that thing that brings that fulfillment, and just that you have passion and desire for, and all that stuff will come, And so it's like, it just started, kind of peeling away kind of what success meant to me. Because for me, it was more about the service and helping others, being able to see it differently, seeing success and all those things, and just purpose and passion differently. It changed everything for me, y'all. And I mean, like I was adamant. Like I was 100% like certain, this is what, like, getting my MPA, having this career and just work in service. Like this is what I've been called to do. This is it, and there was nothing that anybody could do to change that. And y'all, when I tell you, like, just um, following that, seeking God and following like what I know, and just those feelings of what I felt he was calling me to do, everything just started falling into place. And I know that is what would happen for you. Specifically with my graduate programs, I got into 4 of the 5 schools, got into my top choice. And when I ended up moving and starting in my graduate program, my graduate career, I was just building my networks, getting internships, meeting this person, meeting that person, these individuals suggesting that I meet this group of networks. And it was just constant building up my networks, and just constant development of just everything falling into place. And it's like never losing sight of, like, kind of what you put your eyes on and what you feel that you've been called to do. And just even where I am now, like in this career of public service and the things that are happening, like I'm currently, in a space and going to be in a space of just doing what I love and what I'm passionate about, what I know is going to make a difference in the world. And that is a result and because of following that purpose, being in those spaces that I was supposed to have been in to meet specific people that are a part of what I'm going to be doing now. And it is just the greatest feeling that I could stress, that greatest feeling of when you found your purpose and have discovered it. Like no one can speak to you otherwise. And I think that is just some of my greatest advice of just giving to you all, of those who are just in that season, whether it be a transitional phase or gap years of, like, where do I even begin, with this idea of purpose and passion. And what I want to just express to you is just really sitting down, being reflective over your life. So whether that's journaling, like if you're a journaler, I'm a big journaler. I love journaling, writing it down and seeing, like, just looking back throughout life, like in your job, in school, just whatever environments that you guys are in right now, looking back and seeing, like, man, like, what are things that I've done or been a part of, or I think that I may even like, and walking in that, making those steps, getting internships, working, and just seeing, so that you can apply that and seeing if this is something that you will actually enjoy and love. And also, if you've been having people just speaking things over you, like different mentors in your life, like, man, like, you know what, you're really good at this, or you should look into this. Like, those are things, because it's like for me, in seeking God, he gave me a vision. He gave me vision of just what my purpose was. And it's like, that looks differently for everybody. So it could be just others speaking life over you, or others making suggestions. And it's like being reflective of those things, journaling them, writing them down, and just, I would say, ultimately just being in that prayer, and talking with God, of getting that confirmation, like, Lord, like, send me a sign, in whatever ways that he speaks to you. And you'll know in your heart. And I couldn't stress it enough about just like the financial aspect, not going after, not letting money being the sole factor and that driving force, to committing your life to doing what you're doing. Because the famous saying, money can't bring happiness, and I think it is so true. I feel that we've all just been called on this earth to do something greater than ourselves, and just to help others. Like, that's what it's all about, making that impact, making that difference. We live in a society where every day things are changing, and communities are being impacted. And I feel that it's finding that thing that, like, you just love, and it brings that fulfillment. Being able to make that differentiating between hobbies and then also passion and fulfillment, I think is really, really, really important. And having that aha moment, if you ever feel like in life you've had that aha moment, like, hold into that, write it down, think about it, and just start walking in it. And, like, y'all, I promise, like, it's like when you're following the things that you're passionate about doing. And when you're just like seeking God in the process, just all those things, like looking into mentors, looking into others to get that advice from. Maybe looking at people like, if you think you're interested in going to law school, talking with like others who've been through that process, they've been through that experience, or they know others who've walked that path, and they can share that knowledge. But like, it's like you have to learn how to be that advocate for yourself. So going after your dreams and your goals in life, chasing it, that means that you have to go on Google and look up companies or look up agencies or just directors or staff members of a place that you're interested in, and call them up, email them. Like, those things go so far, and just get to know them, let them see your personality, and just tell them, you want to pick their brain, like you want them to be a mentor for you. And I'm telling y'all, it goes so far. And so that's a lot of just practical application that I would give to you guys, and just again sharing that knowledge of how I discovered my purpose, and just things that I'm passionate about in life, and just how to help you guys also in that. Because again, I know this conversation of purpose and passion, like, it's trending. Everybody's talking about it right now, but it's like, I feel like all of us have been through those seasons of, what does this look like? How do I even begin? Where do I go? How do I start with this? But it's all those things, that I've mentioned in this video. And I'm praying for you guys, and just, like, I'm really hoping that, there's just something that you will take away from this video. And I know, I'm confident that you will, and you'll discover that, like, you will find that purpose. You will find those things that you are passionate about. And the great thing about purpose, y'all, is that it's always developing. It's always elevating. It's always growing, or you're always expanding and expounding upon it. It grows. And that's one of the greatest parts about that, is that it's limitless. You know what I mean? And so look into those tools, be reflective, journal, speak with others about it, but just go after what you feel that your calling is over your life. Like, claim that, go after, be that advocate for yourself. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so glad that you guys have stayed tuned for watching this video. And if you've really enjoyed this video, you will absolutely love part 2 of Discovering Purpose. We're gonna have some really great guests and just really building that dialogue of purpose, and sharing even more experiences with you guys who have walked those pathways and walked those steps of discovering their purposes and passions in life. And I think it's going to be such a blessing for you. So I hope you guys stay tuned for part 2 of Discovering Purpose. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Like, please comment, y'all. We want to keep the dialogue going in there. If you guys have questions, write them down. Like, I'm going to be active in the comments, and just hoping on building this dialogue and just helping each other in the process, because we all have things that we can continuously learn from each other. And so, as always, y'all, be blessed. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.